So I want to give an update on where I'm at with rehab from that freak injury that I had when I was on antibiotics and tore my hamstring, peroneus, gastroc, all that good stuff. Majority of the damage was in the hamstring, grade 3, and honestly I don't have a lot of, as much material holding that in as I do on the right side anymore. Yeah, so recovery as far as the muscle went, it was a grade 3 tear. Has happened really quickly. So in about 3.5 weeks, I was up deadlifting over 600 pounds again. And I can't remember, I'm about six weeks out now, 7 weeks, somewhere in there. And finally returning to structured training. So I'm gonna get my YouTube vlogs and stuff going, but it really wasn't used. So to post anything in the interim while I've just been walking through the rehab and kind of finding where I'm at. But I want to walk through some of the stuff that I did to treat it. If you want to dive deeper into, like, you know, my philosophy, I've got a video that I posted I think in January around rehab philosophy that talks about why and what I choose to use and how I use it. But I wanted to show just some of the stuff that I'm doing this time. So had some tearing of the peroneus in the gastroc, and again hamstring was the most damage. So wanted to get moving as fast as possible, and there was a lot of material kind of bundled up in here, a lot of knotting that was restricting my movement. So relied heavily, obviously, on active mobility ball and boomstick with vice technique, you know, laying on my side, working those. Did do a lot of work with our chiropractor that works in-house here at Kabuki Strength, and mostly doing scraping, a lot of scraping work with that. Commonly known as Graston, but there's a lot of different types. This here I've got the leopard claw, and I've also got another device, I can't remember the name, by the rock tape people. But anyway, a lot of scraping, so she would do work on me, and then I would do work on myself as well. So working to those and getting in some of the tighter areas. So be familiar if you're choosing to do this or see somebody, but the scraping work with an ISATM tool is quite effective. Training. So again, I wanted to move as frequently as I could, rehabbing. Did a lot of BFR training, so blood flow restriction. We've got a great podcast on that. And that podcast is, well, you can look it up, it's the one with Dr. Mario Novo. So we're having a training and certification on that in late July. But there is the poor man's version. We're gonna show you, I did some clinical work here with the actual cuffs that monitor the amount of ingoing and outgoing pressure using Doppler. But we've got our Kabuki Strength. So we've got a 4-inch wide band, and that 4-inch wide band is incredible for doing the BFR work. Way better than anything else I've found for doing that. So when I haven't been doing the clinical work, I've been doing this quite regularly, several times a week, doing the BFR to speed up the training. So we'll show a little bit, couple of snippets of the actual BFR, but should give you a good idea of what's going on there. So there's a couple things I've just got to kind of deal with going forward, and I don't think it's going to affect my goals, but they're definitely issues. So one, like I mentioned, I've got a lot less of the attachment of that bicep of the hamstring on this side than on the other side. Additionally, the fibular head has shifted outward on this leg because of the less amount of material holding that in place. You can actually see that bone sticking out the side of my leg here. It's kind of stabilized, it's not really shifting around much anymore, but that's where it's going to be. So you can see the difference if you look at my other leg, and you'll see that that bone is not sticking out there. So don't believe that there's a lot negative that's going to be able to happen from that, but just some issues that I've got. Yeah, I think my goals are still the same, but just kind of sucks because it came from a bit of a freak accident, and just got to deal with it going forward.